Chronic neck pain is something that many suffer with. There are several causes, and the pain can even branch out and go beyond the source of the neck. Dr. Alex Bingham from Novocur Pain Management Clinics is here to discuss it in today's House Calls segment. So we want to let everybody know, get your questions ready, run over to your computer. We're going to be taking some of them on this topic and answering them live on the air. All you need to do is go over to slviewers@abc15.com and send those to us throughout this hour, and hopefully we'll get your question answered today. But let's talk about some of the common causes for this chronic neck pain and really kind of the different, when do you know it's chronic?
Right. Well, there's about 3 different categories that I would put people in. The first are people that are developing neck pain as a result of just simple wear and tear. Over time, the joints in our body begin to wear out. So it's degenerative arthritis or osteoarthritis. And it's interesting because that can present in one of 2 ways. It can be a progressively, increasingly painful thing, or it can be a situation where somebody wakes up one morning and says, oh my gosh, my neck is killing me, and that's really the first time that it's happened. But when we x-ray them, there was a lot of degenerative changes that have been taking place painlessly over a period of time. Secondly, there is the autoimmune types of, or systemic types of arthritises, like rheumatoid arthritis, ankylosing spondylitis, and I would even throw fibromyalgia into that group. A lot of neck and shoulder and radiating arm pain that can develop with those things. Then thirdly, probably the most common cause that people will come into a doctor for complaining of chronic neck pain is going to be after a trauma, after an accident, usually.
Whiplash.
Usually a whiplash. You got it, Stephanie.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's a very, very common complaint. Almost, I would say 80–90% of the time when somebody comes into our office and says, I've got this chronic neck pain, I've tried so many things to get rid of it, it's not going away, and we start going through their history, it usually turns out that they had a car accident or some other serious trauma. And what's interesting is that when they have these car accidents, if they hit their head, that is going to really accelerate the damage or increase the amount of damage that they're going to have to the neck. So if they hit their head on the windshield or on the frame of the window, it really increases the damage and they have more neck pain down the road.
So it's really kind of the thrashing forward, the obstruction, in hitting something, and then that motion?
Yeah, it's the motion because our reflexes are not fast enough to guard against the whiplash, firstly. And then secondly, when our head gets thrown back, it compresses or damages the joints in the back of our spine called the facet joints. And so those facet joints end up being the source of a lot of the chronic pain.
Well, I don't know that I've necessarily had whiplash, but I have been in just a couple accidents, and I know that when I hit, the car, the car hit me, however you want to say it. I think I just explained that I hit somebody from behind right there. More than one car. But the pain was on my back as well.
Yeah.
So are there other areas that it kind of extend from that?
When you're in a car accident, it can damage or inflict pain on almost every part of your spine, for sure. Hips, shoulders, it can create headaches. Oftentimes there'll be dizziness, ringing in the ears, feelings of nausea, headaches are real common after it. So when you're talking car accidents, it can affect almost every part of your back and the rest of your body.
And do you just live with that trauma to your body, or what do you do with that?
Yeah, you don't want to do that, and that's what a lot of people do. They think, well, I'm stiff and I'm sore here for a few weeks, but I'm just going to work my way through that and I'll be okay. And eventually, it's amazing at how much pain and stiffness and discomfort that your body can deal with, but it's not good to just kind of fight your way through it. You need to rehabilitate those injuries with starting with conservative care, physical therapy or chiropractic care. You need to heal properly the soft tissue that's been damaged, because if you don't, you're going to end up with some long-term problems as a result. And we have a great picture that I brought with me of 2 x-rays. One was before a car accident, one is 15 years after a car accident there on the right. So before the car accident, you can see the nice natural forward curvature of the neck there on the left-hand side. And then after a car accident, 15 years later, this person did not properly rehabilitate their neck after the accident.
So the mobility to the right, the left, up and down is altered on the right?
They're going to have diminished range of motion. They're going to have disc spacing. The shock absorbing pads are going to wear out much, much faster than they would if they hadn't have been in the car accident. They're going to start to get bone spurring. They're going to start to get nerve impingement, pressure on the nerves, which can cause radiating pain down the arms, numbness, grip strength, weakness. And so when they start to get those radiating symptoms, pain into the shoulder, down the arm, into the hand, complaints like that mean it's becoming more and more severe. There's more degenerative changes taking place as a result of not taking care of those injuries from the get-go.
Well, we're going to talk about how we can take care of them from the get-go, specifically with Novocur Pain Management and what you do over there coming up here in just a little bit. But we wanted to let you know that Novocur has a special promotion for the month of July. All new patients will be entered into a drawing for one of 10 $100 gift cards to iPick Theater at Scottsdale Quarter, which is a really cool place, by the way. Novocur Pain Management Clinic has 2 locations in the Valley, and for more information, you can visit novocur.com or call them at 480-855-NOVO, which is 480-855-6686. And if you have a question about chronic neck pain, let us know. I'm going to make sure that that question gets answered either on the air live or after the show. Just head to sonoranliving.com. Right now, click on the house calls on the right side of the page, and Dr. Bingham will be here throughout the show answering all of your questions.